What's up, guys? This is Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvidia, and many tickers out there. I'm going to break down why the market is trying to bounce right now. So you have another good catalyst coming out involving Trump's tariffs, not to mention some new developments on these charts. Just know that I'm not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 30 in total. And the offer ends very soon at the end of March. So, as far as the market's going, I just want to say that when you look at SPY, we have a very, very interesting pattern, right? We saw SPY dump, okay, when Donald Trump's tariffs were imposed on Canada and Mexico, right? We saw this thing dump all the way down to 572, then it bounced back up to 585 the same day, then it dipped again. Then we saw a little rebound during the pre-market, came back down yesterday to 573. Then we saw a big bounce to 585. Then we dipped to 573 again. Now we're bouncing. So notice the pattern where we like to just go back and forth and back and forth. We like to dip and bounce and dip and bounce. And today, okay, people were saying we're going to crash this and that. So far, off 573, we're actually, bouncing again. And there's buyers defending us right over here. We went from 573 up to about 579 right now. That's about almost 6 points we're up. And overall, we're actually halfway to making a full recovery from yesterday's high. So we're doing a good job, right? We're doing a relatively good job so far. Now, why is the market bouncing like this? Well, as a reminder, okay, we're seeing some good news that's coming out. I just want to remind you all that when Trump increased tariffs to 25% on Canada and Mexico, there's a lot of fear that came on that Tuesday. But then we had the Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, he was saying that actually on Wednesday, Donald Trump was going to alleviate some of the tariffs, right? He said that, and as a result, Donald Trump did end up announcing that he was going to, make some exemptions for the auto industry, right? And now today, we're seeing Howard Lutnick saying that there's going to be more 1 month tariff exemptions beyond the auto industry. So he's saying there's going to be more exemptions coming from Trump. Even though there's still a 25% tariff rate on the majority of products, there could be more of these delays, more exemptions coming as Donald Trump makes more deals, and that could cause another big move in the stock market. And that's what's helping the market rally so far. So that's a very, very big piece of news, right? This guy was right before, so there's a good chance he's going to be right again, and there could be more exemptions coming. That's very, very important. Now, moving forward, I don't really have an update from the tariffs and all that. Just keep in mind, we do have big data tomorrow. We have like unemployment numbers, and then Jerome Powell's giving a speech. So I'll talk more about that later on. For now, the market is looking resilient. It's very resilient. We're not dumping. We're not crashing right now. The market's getting bought back up and trying to recover. You could see SPY's getting bought back up right now. I want to see it break 580 to really start pushing. Overall, good job, right? You guys can see we're holding our lows. We're forming like a triple bottom. If we could break 580, I think we push back up to the highs we saw from yesterday. And then if we could break those, we're going to be even more bullish. If we could get back above 585, that's bullish. So watch those two main resistances, and I think so far we're doing a great job. So the buyers are back. They're defending. Despite the dip that came in the morning, there are buyers who are still trying to push us back up. On the QQQ, it's the same thing essentially, right? We had the slowdown here in the 488 area. Now we're trying to hold 490, so we're making like a higher low. Also, we had this inverse head and shoulders here, right? And we actually are forming like a double bottom here, which is a good sign for us to try a rebound attempt. I want to see us break past 497.5. If that breaks, we're looking for 500. Then the highs from yesterday to be retested around 503. Break that, then we're looking for a much bigger melt up. If we can't break that, we're looking for the main support down here around 493, and also back down to 491. So we'll see how it goes. For now, we're looking bullish, so we'll see if we could break right here. The Russell 2000 also wants to break resistance up around this like 208 area. We have support down here around 204, so we're kind of stuck in the middle. I want to see us break past this white trend line acting as previous support, becoming resistance. If we can break that, we're going to attempt again to push higher, so we're doing a good job. What's good about ES is my prediction was 5750s where we would bounce, and so far we're actually we did just bounce off that. We're actually holding up nicely. We have to see if we can break past 5800 on ES. You guys can see this trend line right here is acting as our support now. So I want to see if we could hold above this trend line at the very least by the time we close. And can we get back above 5800? There's a good chance that we're going to try. Looking at NQ, the Nasdaq is also holding above key support. NQ is now above 20,200, which is not bad. I want to see us hold though. We have to hold above 20,000 to see some kind of rebound. Bitcoin could dip a little bit back down to about 89,000. We'll see if we bounce off that or not near the 20 EMA. For Nvidia, we're not looking too good. We're down 3% because we had some bad news that came out with a sharp drop in their sales in China. However, I just want to make it very clear that we're going to be watching to see if we can make a higher low here or not. If we can make a higher low, if we don't end up losing like around the 110 area, there could be an attempt to get back up to 115 and 117. If 110 fails us, I will turn more bearish. So we're still stuck in the middle right now, but there's potential for a bounce if we could hold our main support. On Tesla, bad news came out about their sales expectations, and we also got 2 price cuts today from different analysts from Baird and other places. So that's why it's underperforming. We're going to be watching to see if we can form a double bottom, though. If we could hold 262, I'm going to be looking for an attempt to get back up to 275. But if 262 fails us, we're going to be dumping even more. So there's a lot of bad news that came out, unfortunately. So that's why Tesla's kind of dipping. Apple's looking a little bit more resilient. We have this yellow trend line that was previous support now becoming resistance. If we could break past this, we're looking for an attempt to get back up to 240. If not, we could reject here. So I'm going to be looking to see if we could break past that. Overall, I think it's doing a fantastic job. But let's see if we could break 240, right? That would be very, very good if we do that. For a coin, I'm seeing a double bottom. I want to see us break 230 to start pushing for this imbalance flow at 237. We're at resistance. Amazon is relatively weak, but what's good about it is we did not lose 202. If 202 fails us, it's not going to be a good sign, but there's like some wicks for me, so it could try a rebound. Meta, inverse head and shoulders. I want to see us get back above 657 to really bounce. A little bit of weak right now, but it's not too bad. Microsoft is retesting 400. If we break that, we're looking for 405 as our next target. It has potential to go higher if we could break past that. As long as 395 does not break, we're going to be fine. Then Google needs to break 177.6. If that breaks, we're going to be going even higher. I want to mention one good thing for bulls is the fact that the VIX got a wick here, and we have a gap to fill down here. So that tends to suggest the VIX may be coming down soon because the market may push more. So we'll see how well the market holds up. So far, it's looking resilient. We do have a tough resistance at 580, but it's going to be fine, especially because as the next few weeks approach, the market is trying to form a base, and that is going to be very, very interesting. So we'll see how it goes, and we're going to be very, very interested in this. So give this the time it needs, and we're going to be very, very patient nonetheless. That being said, I think that's what we're seeing right now is going to be very interesting, and we'll see what happens, at least moving forward. I think we're going to get more announcements from Trump later about tariffs, some more exemptions and such. That could help the market push more. So just be patient, right? The market just opened 2 hours ago. Be very, very patient with this. Give it some time, and hopefully things do end up improving. Thank you for listening. Have a good one, and peace out.